Hi, welcome to another episode of PR Cricket Chat. The Champions Trophy is upon us, or as the ICC calls it, the Mini World Cup. The World Cup has had in the 2023 nine games where each team played each other, and then the semi-finals and final, and India went on an absolute tear to get 10 wins, and then unfortunately in the finals they couldn't get over the line, and they'll be itching to get an opportunity to get another ICC trophy after the World Cup win last June. But they haven't won the ODI World Cup in a long time, so they will be desperate to win something in the longer format of the game. Well, I think the top eight teams rightfully play the Champions Trophy. It's not a very long tournament like the World Cup. Sri Lanka, who are in very good form right now, unfortunately don't make it because this depended on how the teams finished in the World Cup, and West Indies also don't make it. Group A, India, New Zealand, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. And Group B, Afghanistan, Australia, England, and South Africa. So I'm not going to go into a detailed dive on all the teams except India. So who do I think will make it to the semi-finals? I think from Group A, uh, England have had a horrible tour of India, but the English pitch, so the Pakistan pitches will be a lot more forgiving, and the England batsmen will, I think, have a bigger say than they did in India, where the ball turned a bit, not too much, but turned slightly. But Pakistan, I think the pitches will be absolutely flat, like we saw in the tri-series with Pakistan, New Zealand, and South Africa. So I just get the feeling that England will take one of the semi-final spots, and you know, and Australia, the main bowlers Hazelwood, Cummins, and Stark are not playing. The batting looks a bit wobbly, like it did through the 2023 World Cup, and it was only the brilliance of Cummins, the captain, who saved them in the semi-final against South Africa with the bat, and with his captaincy against India in the final. So I would be very surprised if Australia actually make it to the semi-finals. The other spot I think is between South Africa and Afghanistan. South Africa have a lot of power in the middle with Klaasen and Miller, and at the top with Rickleton, and but the bowling looks a bit suspect. The only problem I have with Afghanistan is on true pitches they get found out because they don't have the power, and their spinners and their bowling is not able to contain the opposition. If the pitches are a bit up and down, which I don't think they will be, I think Afghanistan has a shot of making the semi-finals. But I think South Africa and England make it from that group. The India group is a very intriguing one. Keep in mind this is a very short tournament, and one bad day means you're out of the tournament. And this happened to India in the 2007 World Cup. So let's not forget that when they lost to Bangladesh in the opener, beat Bermuda but couldn't get past Sri Lanka. So the first two games are absolutely crucial for all the teams. So if India go down to Bangladesh, then the Pakistan game becomes a must-win, and then the New Zealand game becomes a must-win. So India will try their best to avoid the banana peel against Bangladesh. I think this Indian team is a formidable one. They've left off from where they finished the 2023 World Cup. The batting looks good. I'm a bit worried about the bowling because without Bumrah, if Bumrah was there, I would have said India are the favourites, hands down. But without Bumrah, the game changes completely. He's a once in a generation bowler. Without Bumrah, the game changes completely. You don't have anybody up front to take wickets like he can and lock up the end. Shami looks a shadow of a pale shadow actually of the Shami we saw in the 2023 World Cup. I don't think Shami has the same wicket taking ability he did 15 months ago. So I'm slightly worried about the bowling, especially if India don't post a big enough score. And I think the batting will have to compensate for Bumrah's absence. So they may have to score 20, 30 runs extra every game. And it's going to be tough for the batsmen also. If the bowlers end up conceding 300, 330, 340 in one of these games, it's going to be very tough to chase because each game is a virtual knockout game. So slightly worried about the Indian bowling and their ability to contain or take wickets. But having said that, I think India may just do enough to qualify for the semi-finals. So uh, New Zealand, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, who is going to make it out of the other three? I think New Zealand beat Pakistan twice in that tri series, and they open up the Champions Trophy. It's always difficult to beat a team three times in a row, and Pakistan's the home team. The home crowd's going to be behind them. I just get the feeling, and I could be completely wrong, that Pakistan beat New Zealand in the opening game, and then that Pakistan-India game becomes an absolute shootout for whoever's going to top that group. So I think Pakistan make it along with India from Group A, and England make it along with South Africa from Group B. That's what I think. If you look at that Indian team, they're locked and loaded up front. I still would play Rishabh Pant over KL Rahul. Rishabh Pant is an absolute match winner, and you don't want him sitting on the bench because I think it's my opinion, but KL Rahul doesn't play the pressure games well, and Rishabh takes absolutely no pressure. He just plays with a very clear mind. So yeah, I think India's got options. But when the lights are big, if it's an absolute knockout, let's assume India gets to the semi-final and final, I would definitely have Rishabh Pant in the middle rather than sitting on the bench. But India's worry will be less the batting, more the bowling. Bangladesh are going to be a tricky team up front. We'll discuss that game in detail. But those are my four semi-finalists: India, Pakistan, South Africa, and England to make the semi-finals. And we'll come back and review the India Bangladesh game after it happens. Thank you for watching another episode of PR Cricket Chat. If you like this video, please do share, subscribe, and press the bell icon for notifications. Thank you very much.